Welcome back, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome. Some of my favorite recipes are recipes that require minimum ingredients and can be made in 30 minutes or less, especially when it comes to dinner recipes. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to dinner time, it's later in the day, I'm tired, I've usually had a long, busy day, and I do not feel like spending hours in the kitchen just to have a good, healthy, keto-friendly meal. And so our recipe today is a 30-minute keto meal of loaded zucchini and a simple sirloin steak. Quick, easy, and delicious. And if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also, when you're clicking the subscribe button, right next to the subscribe button, there's a little notification bell. Make sure you click that notification bell. That way you can be notified every time I put out a new video. And while you do that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with foil. Slice the tops and the bottoms off of 2 to 3 zucchini or yellow squash. I'm using 1 zucchini and 1 yellow squash. They both are tasty. After you've cut the tops and bottoms off, then cut each zucchini or yellow squash in half horizontally. Then cut each half lengthwise almost all the way through. Make sure you keep the bottom layer of skin intact. You want it cut mostly the way through, but you want it to still be connected at the bottom. So you should be able to open the zucchini all the way, but still have the bottom skin intact. If you do accidentally cut it all the way through, it's okay. It's not going to ruin it. But ideally, you want to keep that bottom strip intact. Place the zucchini or the yellow squash on the prepared baking sheet. Then bake at that 425 degrees for about 10 minutes or until the zucchini or the yellow squash is slightly softened. Once it's baked for 10 minutes, sprinkle your desired amount of shredded cheese over the top of the zucchini or the yellow squash. I'm using shredded Colby cheese. You can use any cheese you want. And you can put any amount you want. I kind of like a lot of cheese, so I use probably close to 2 cups total. But again, it all depends on how much cheese you like. If you only like a little bit, you could just put a little scatter. If you like more, put more. It's up to you. After you've sprinkled the cheese on, then sprinkle your desired amount of bacon that's been cooked and crumbled over the top of the cheese. I usually cook up about 3 to 4 slices of bacon and crumble it up and put it on top. But again, it's however much bacon you prefer on your zucchini. Just make sure it's cooked and crumbled. Once you have the cheese and bacon on top of the zucchini or the yellow squash, pop it back into the oven at that 425 degrees and bake for about 5 minutes more or until the cheese is fully melted. Once it's done baking, let it sit on the pan for just about 2 to 3 minutes just so you don't burn your fingers. Then place it on a serving tray. You can top it with sour cream or ranch if you want to. Or you can just leave it as is. Eat it as a main dish, or if you're like me, I like to have it as a side dish. And one of the meats that I like to use this as a side dish with is my simple sirloin. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. In a 3-quart casserole dish, place 2 pounds of beef sirloin. Now, if you want to, you can cut it into your desired size pieces now, but I usually bake it and then cut it into my desired size pieces. But it's up to you however you want to do it. Lightly spray the sirloin with cooking spray. I'm using coconut oil cooking spray. You can use any type of cooking spray you want. And then I usually use a silicone brush of some kind and just spread the oil across the top of the sirloin so it's in a nice even layer across the top. Sprinkle the sirloin with your desired amount of salt and pepper. I just usually put a light layer on top of each. Then use a silicone brush or your fingers and press the salt and pepper into the sirloin so it can absorb the salt and pepper. Set that aside for a minute. In a small bowl, combine 2 tablespoons of oil of your choice. I'm using avocado oil. You can use whatever oil you want. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice and a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. Use a fork and stir these together until they're fully combined and the garlic powder has dissolved into the oil and lemon juice. Use a basting brush or your silicone brush and brush the mixture over the top of the sirloins in a nice even layer. Then chop up 3 to 4 mini sweet peppers and scatter them around and over the top of the sirloin. I usually use 4 of them, but again, it's up to you how many sweet peppers you want. Chop 1/4 of an onion and again scatter that on top and around the sirloin. I'm using a red onion. You can use any onion you want, and you can put more or less of the onion depending on how much onion you like in your sirloin. Once your sirloin's all topped with the onion and the sweet peppers, then bake it at 425 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes depending on how pink you like your steak. If you want it completely done without any pink, then the 30 minutes will probably be good for you. If you like it a little bit more pink, then check it at 20 minutes and see if it's done to your liking. Once it's all done baking, let it sit in the casserole dish for about 5 minutes so it can continue cooking. When you take things out of the oven, they're always continuing to cook for the first couple minutes that you take it out, so you don't want to remove it immediately from the pan. Let it finish cooking. After the 5 minutes, cut your desired piece of sirloin if you haven't already divided it up into pieces. Place it on a serving plate. Sprinkle it with some of the onions and peppers that you cooked with it. Eat it by itself or with the side dishes of your choice. I like to eat it with the loaded zucchini. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click the subscribe button. You can leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.